Hey everyone, good to see you. Thanks for checking the channel out, checking this video out. Really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe. You know the routine. If you followed me on the channel, just a couple days ago, I posted a video about my Rush 2021 project. Well, here's the first of the videos. Let's get something clear right away. These aren't meant to be note for note lessons. I'm not going to go through every song on every album. It's just kind of a journey for me, taking you with me. If you enjoy it, great. If not, it is what it is, but I'm just trying to have some fun. Show you the riffs and the stuff from these songs that I've learned over the years that have stayed with me, and they've helped me build my knowledge and how to use the guitar, whether it's riffs or chords, progressions, that sort of thing. Even time signatures, knowing that there's a whole lot more out there than just a 4/4 or a 3/4 signature. So I'm gonna have some fun. We're gonna hit the first album right now with Rush, the album. And going down the list, you've got Finding My Way, Need Some Love, Take a Friend, Here Again, What You're Doing, In the Mood, Before and After, and Working Man, right? I think that's all of them. I'm not going to go through all of these songs. I'm just going through the ones that had something in it that registered with me that I really liked. I think for this particular album, I'm going to go through at least half the songs, if not a little bit more. And it could be just one riff. It could be a whole bunch of riffs, but just something that I've learned. I'll share with you why I thought it was important, maybe, and we'll go from there. So enjoy. Again, we're going to have some fun here. I'm going to go through every album over hopefully every week or so. So this will be a long project in addition to some of the other tunes I'll be doing. So check the channel out, and we'll see you soon. All right, so let's just kind of get right into this. I'm not even sure how this is all going to play out now that I'm thinking about it. Again, these aren't lessons, but they kind of are, but these aren't going to be note for note. If you have an interest, let me know. But again, this is just kind of more of an exercise for me that I'm going to share with you over the last 20, 25 years of me playing guitar and the riffs that have worked with me. So if we go down the list, I already went with you, the list of all the tracks, but the ones we're going to talk about, at least I'm going to go over, the first one for sure is Finding My Way, right? So it just kind of starts on a big A, that A5. So I know Lifeson plays that A5 live, but for some reason when I try to play the riff, it just doesn't work for me. So it's going to be like an A power chord, and then just a hammer and pull, or I should say pull and a hammer from the, right? So in the fourth string, pull, and then third string, fifth string on the third fret. Right? And then the G. So it's G, D, A. Right? And that's really the intro, and then it goes to... So it's the A to a G bass, back and forth. That was always a cool thing when I first learned how to do that, just how that rocks back and forth. And then it just kind of shifts. And if you go back and take a look at that video I did for the R30 Overture, that's all kind of in there in more detail, right? So that's kind of just the basic stuff that I learned on this song. There's a couple cool riffs in there. So just kind of some chords in there where it's the D, A. And then on the fifth string, 4, 5, 7, D, 2, 3, 4 on the E string here, the low E, to a G, 2, 3, 5, C, open, 1, 2. Okay. So, for the most part, that's just kind of the basic chunks of the song, some riffage right there, which I think is pretty cool. That's why I've always liked it. So that's why it's always been a really good one for me, just to learn those riff structures, because really this album and the next album, it really wasn't too complicated. A lot of pentatonic stuff. So there's a lot of riffs here that you can hopefully learn, put in your toolbox, and just pull it out when you need to. Right, so that's really so just kind of really cool heavy stuff going on in there. Very straightforward. I guess a Gibson, threw some Marshalls, and that was really it. You know, so that's kind of what we're doing there. All right, Take a Friend, next one. I didn't really dig this song a whole lot, but there's just a couple cool riffs in here that just kind of, if you broke it down per section, it's almost like playing the first, the third, and the fifth of a major scale. So all that is on the, depending on where you want to play it, it's going to be the A string on the 5th fret, 4th fret on the D, to the 7th fret of the D. And that same structure over and over again. And then it just kind of, the riff will change a little bit when it kind of goes into, I guess, the main chorus here. I guess it just kind of holds on that little sharp. I think it can kind of hang in there. So all we're doing is kind of like a Hendrix type of thing. A hammer from 3 to 5, 3, 5, 3 to a D. I'm going to play it up here. Kind of the only parts of the song that I really learned at that point. So just kind of cool things. So that's really it. There wasn't much on that song, but again, those are the things I took away from that. Okay, moving on. All right, so What You're Doing kind of made its return on the R40 tour. I used to play it a little bit, but really just a good exercise and just kind of those lower end riffs. So it just kind of starts off on the E string with the slide, I think it was around the 7th fret to that open. So really it just kind of did open E. I usually slide, I think, from like the 7th or the 9th down, and then it's an open. So it's all in this area here. And then coming out of it, I just kind of go down one more fret to the D string, 5, 7, 7 on the strings. So, I mean, not really a whole lot going on there. And then that main part of the verse, I think, is just an A. Again, just kind of showing you when it's used just right. And that's kind of the tune right there. Now, there's a couple riffs in here that actually sound pretty cool. So all we're doing there is we're just kind of in this one box here. It's between the 9th and the 7th fret on the G string. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty straightforward. And then the turnaround was always a little bit tricky, but again, all pentatonic patterns in here. So just all kind of in there, that, you know, right there. So, you know, it just kind of gives you an idea how simple some of this really was, but it just sounds so good when they do it. Well, that was a little screwed up, but you get it, right? So that was, you know, What You're Doing. All right, for the next one, if we're going down the list here of the tunes that I want to do, is In the Mood. I've never really played it a whole lot, and just kind of that one riff in the beginning that I really kind of just did a whole lot with. I should say did a whole lot with, but just kind of learned. And it's just kind of all based on, really similar to the Finding My Way riff. And this riff, actually, when you hear that, you'll hear it again a couple albums down the road for I Think I'm Going Bald off Caress of Steel, roughly. So, I mean, again, I have to play it slow for some reason. But it's on the A, you hit the A twice. And then we're kind of just bring the pinky over to the 4th fret here. And then I'm going to go from 3 to 4. Right? I mean, this is the key signature to the song right here. On the D and the G string, from 5 to 4 to the 2. Very Skynyrd-like. Right, and then you're just going to kind of go back and forth between the 2nd and the 4th fret on those. So that was one of those key sections there that always was cool. It was a signature sound, I thought. Right there from 5, 4, right to the 2. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I had really ever learned on that one for the most part. Just that little riff. But again, you're kind of putting all these little tools in the toolbox here where it's kind of, you know, you can pull them out when you're playing something else down the road, or just, it just helps train your ear with certain things, I thought. That's why I always kind of like playing it. And that was about all I ever really learned from that one song. But again, rocking out. So that was kind of that one. Okay, this one probably one of my favorites off this album, believe it or not, before and after. And you start to hear Lifeson with his use of the open strings. I don't know if this was by design early on, but it was probably a lot of experimentation, and it just worked out that way. So before and after, you know, just kind of a lot of open string. We're doing is playing just like Xanadu chords. We know we'll get into that later, but the E open with the E with these 2 strings down here open, to the B, to the A, to the E, right? Turnaround is kind of like these, again, more like the open F sharp. So really what we're doing is we're just kind of, I think we have to deaden the 3rd string here. Right? And then it kind of heavies up. And then the real kind of the riff is. So all we're doing is just A, G, D on the power chords, right? To an E. And then it goes to. There's a. I mean, again, I didn't prepare a whole lot for this. I was trying to do it all from memory, but there's that the C in there. So you get it though. So it's in there, I don't know. But that's, again, this is all how I learned the early Rush stuff. So that kind of takes us through the first album. Again, just for me, just kind of a trip down memory lane here, showing you some riffs. And we got one more. Let's get into the last one, which is Working Man. Great tune. Let's get into that one. A lot of riffs here, man. A lot of cool riffs. You got your E5 to start it. Again, all on that first and second, 6th and 5th string. So it's the E5. And then on the 5th fret, A, E. Again. On the C to the D. All on the 5th fret there. Or on the 5th string. And then when it changes the dynamics, the same thing. It's the E. We're playing chords now. Right, so you got that chunk, and then there was this cool chunk here on the 7th fret on the E in the A string. I mean, I should probably play it this way, with my fingers properly. Right, so just on these 2 frets, we're just going to do the E and the A, the E and the A, and then from here, so all I'm doing there is 3 and 5. Back to the riff. So, and you repeat that over and over. And then again, during the solo, there's some really cool riffs that I've always kind of held on to. So all we're doing is we're just kind of within the 9, the 7, and the 5th frets right here. So hammers and pulls. Man, playing it slow, I can't do it, but E, A, and D string. That was really it. So I learned all this kind of riffage from here, and then it just moves to an octave lower, or higher, I should say, on the between the 9th and the 7th frets on the 3rd string, and we go to the 8th fret for that one high note. Right. So cool riff there. The other part of the song I always kind of listen to, and it's helped me identify different sounds, was coming out of the, I guess, going right towards the end. 10th fret, E and the B string. That was really it. Bend the B. Stationary on the 10th. On the E string. And then from there to this Hendrix chord, the E7, I think it is. So it's going to be 7 on the A, 6 on the D. What is it? 7 on the G, and 8 on the B. Right? And the E's are open, I guess. That final chord going out. That's really it. So, I don't know. Hopefully this helped you out. It was fun. Wasn't meant to be a lesson, but just kind of fun stuff to do. Show you some riffs that I've learned just through being a Rush fan and all that. So, again, not going to do all the songs on every album, but just kind of the ones I like. And I'll see you in the next one. Fly By Night is next. Take it easy.